Research affirms that the effect of digitization on unemployment is greater in controlled and emerging digitized economies, but relatively low in Africa. I really want to know your take on this research.
My take on it from the outside looking in, I grew up predominantly in the United States and then migrated over into Ghana, Accra, back in 2006, early 2006. I see there are some things and there's some challenges that Ghana is facing. Unlike, our other countries and things like that, we see the progression and where they're going. And I see the future for Ghana, that it can happen for us, but we have to take the small steps in order to make those things happen. In different sectors, as far as education, just as he was speaking about his incident about going into the bank and not being able to be, properly serviced and things of that nature, and new things as far as the ATM machine. So I think by integration of technology and having more of a push on that and connecting more with the technology sectors, industries, organizations, and companies to help kind of bridge that gap, because that's a starting point. Without that starting point, it's going to be hard to integrate that into all the different many facets that you do have in Ghana, not just from entertainment to education, healthcare, banking. It's all connected together. So I do think that there is a great opportunity here for that. And starting with the youth, it's hard to how can I explain it? Make changes, and I know this very well from my understanding being overseas in the US, is that it's harder to change the older generation. Sometimes the older generation are set in their ways. They're used to doing things the way that they're used to. But with the youth, you can see that progression. If we integrate this and start taking those steps now, what will Ghana look like 10, 15 to 20 years from now if we start now? So that could be slowly introducing, technology into primary schools, secondary schools, and things of that nature, giving them the opportunity to have access to a wide range of things. So there's many other things I could speak on, but I don't want to take the floor. So just to add on to what he was saying, things as far as like inadequate curriculum and things like that, more focus on STEM products and things like that. Ghana has the potential. You can develop your own Silicon Valley. Why should we have to depend on China or the US for them to lay the bricks down?
Okay.
There's a country full of intelligent people here, but we just have to create that infrastructure and just taking that small step. So even if it's just slowly introducing some things like coding or giving a spark to the minds of the youth that, hey, things that you should aspire for. But there's also other people that are needed. Doctors can't just run the country. Lawyers can't just run the country. It takes the people to run the country, and they have to be skilled in different trades, vocational training, and skill sets.
Thank you very much.
So I would want to take it from a point of generally the African behavior towards adoption of new technologies. Outside the fact that infrastructure is clearly a constraint in trying to get access to internet, even electricity. Let's even go to the basics. It's a challenge. And now let's talk about those who actually do have access to the internet and electricity, how they quickly adopt to new technologies and all the capabilities digital presents to us. I'm saying this because even as a new product, WoPro, it would make sense on paper that this is a tool that should make life easy, and therefore if you're on the market, people should be jumping at it, brands should be jumping at it, people who use social media should see that this is value and I should get at it. It doesn't translate like how we predicted, because they want to take their sweet time to try something new. And this is why Africa is mostly behind, because we would wait till the whole world has adopted to it before we would come and take the bottom barrel of it. And then I would also want to add that if you look at it critically, it comes from how we even grew up. And I was telling Ralph and Shaunta earlier that if you ask any young person what are their aspirations in life, they would, in terms of career, they would most likely mention white-collar jobs of, a doctor, a lawyer, and they wouldn't mention anything like an AI developer or a data analyst.
We haven't seen any AI developer. I have not seen them. I've seen a lawyer. If I go to the hospital, yes, I can see a doctor.
Yes.
I can see a nurse in her
yes,
in her green attire. Yes. So these are the things. Obviously,
right,
they hardly mention teachers. Yes.
Chelsea, you're right. And that's the problem, where in our educational system, it doesn't condition our minds to even look beyond what we see. We should get to a point where we can explore, which is what internet does for us. It makes us global. You can go beyond what you see with your eyes. So the aspiration needs to change. What is possible needs to change in the minds of young people. So I personally have a problem with our educational curriculum. I think it is outdated. I think it's not preparing people for the job of the future.
I'll come on that.
So that's my take on why we are behind.
Okay.